Hi, my name is Sulaj, and we're filming here at the International Maarif Schools of Kosova. The purpose of this presentation is to help you with the questions that are about in English for the achievement test. So, if you are a 9th grader and you are about to take the achievement test, let's look at this presentation, follow me step by step, and let's see if it's helpful for you. Now, we have some strategies and tips for you before we continue with the questions. Actually, they can be more. They can be more than 7. There can be thousands of tips and strategies. But I took only 7 which are very important for you. Okay? Number 1 tip is read the instructions carefully. Usually I see the students jumping to the questions right away, but that's not a good thing. You have to read the instructions carefully before you go to the question. Because reading the instructions, you can often find valuable information in the instruction, and then, of course, that it's a good thing to read them first. Tip number 2 is answer the easy questions first. Why is this important? Because it provides an overview of test. And then it gives small victories to boost confidence. So, when you take the test, you have to read the easy questions first, because, as we said, it can provide information, an overall information about the whole test. So, don't do that mistake to go to the difficult one first. Tip number 3, answer the question in your mind. Sometimes the options confuse you because they may be similar with each other, and it's a good thing to practice this. For example, you can use your paper or hand to cover the answers, and then read the question and formulate your best idea of the answer. And maybe you won't get confused by the answer choices, and then you will have to answer faster and with more confidence. So, never go and get confused with the answers, but cover your answers and try to figure it out by yourself. It's a good practice because students usually get confused. Tip number 4, read every answer option. Don't skip this step because it's very important, and there may be multiple correct answers. And also, even if you think you found the answer, read them all, because there can be an introduction, there can be a prefix and suffix included in other options, and it's very good to read every answer option before you finally decide for your final answer. Tip number 5, use the process of elimination. This is a very early method. It is used by a lot of students. It helps you very much, because if you finally have to decide between A or D, it means that you are 50-50. So the thing is that you also increase your odds mean your chances, by eliminating answers you know are incorrect. If you can narrow it down, you'll increase your guessing odds. So, again, eliminating is a good thing because you increase your chances to be more sure. And let's go to the tip number 6. And I guess this is not for you because you have only to decide for only one option. And here's an option about all of the above questions. Sometimes you have cases when all of your answers, all of your options are correct. And then the tip says also you don't have to know if all the answers are correct, just if more than one are correct. Okay? Tip number 7, answer every question. I know that the day of the test, the day of the achievement test, you may be very stressful and you have a lot of questions. Questions are about mathematics, sciences, social sciences, etc. But you try to answer every question. You just have to select one of the options. And what are the benefits? Usually the benefits are that you can certainly write or circle a random answer. So, if you're about not to decide whether you're choosing A, B, or C, or D, and on the other hand, the time is running, you have to select one of these options. It's a good thing not to leave it empty. So you can certainly write or circle a random answer, as we said, and then it can be a strategy to guessing. So you can also use the strategy to guess. And then the final one, is don't guess if you lose points for wrong answers. Actually, you're not losing points, but if you leave it like that, you're going to lose points, but not minus points. So, now let's jump to the questions. As I said in the introduction, questions are usually collected from previous tests that students took it. So, this one is an easy question. So, we're going from the easy questions to the more difficult and then the difficult questions. This one is, which word is different? We have a house, a flat, a cottage, and a paper. All these three options give us the idea that there are shelters. So, basically, you can live in a house, you can also live in a flat, you can also live in a cottage if you go mounting or hunting. And then, can you live in a paper? So let's see. You have 4 options here, and the right answer is paper. Paper is different because basically you have never seen a house of paper. So this word is different by others because you can live in a flat, as we said, you can live in a house and in a cottage in extreme conditions. Good. Question number 2. It says, choose the correct form to complete the sentence. Jack will try, is trying, tried or tries to catch the ball, but he couldn't. Now, we have to analyze the main verb of this sentence in order to find out the tense. So, what is the main verb? So the main verb of this sentence is to catch, and then we see there at the end of the sentence, he couldn't. So Jack will try to catch the ball, but he couldn't. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. Let's try the second one. Jack is trying to catch the ball, but he couldn't. This couldn't help us realize that the event is finished in the past. Now, Jack tried to catch the ball, but he couldn't. We can see the explanation on the other side. And the final one, Jack tries to catch the ball, but he couldn't. I guess that you have the idea now about the final answer. And the final answer is tried. As I said, Jack tried to catch the ball, but he couldn't. So, couldn't help us know that we're talking about past event. Now, before you choose which answer is correct and which is not correct, you have to analyze the verbs, the main verbs, and to check out the tense. In this case, it couldn't help us to find out that the event was in the past and has nothing to do with the present or the future. Okay, let's jump to number 3. The question is very clear. It says choose the correct question. So we have 4 options again, and it says, could you open the door for me, please? B, you could open the door for me, please. Actually, this doesn't sound as a question. C, you could please open the door for me. And then the final one, please, you could open the door for me. What do you think? First one, could you open the door for me, please? I would choose this one as the best option. And then we have, you could open the door for me, please. I guess this is not an option because it doesn't sound like an English or like a question. You could please open the door for me. This is way complicated. And then the final one, please could you open the door for me? Now, if we actually use the procedure and method of eliminating, I would eliminate B and C, and I go with A and D. So we are in the case of 50-50%. Now, let's go with the next slide. And we just eliminated B and C. And this slide tells us that the A is correct. Why? Because could you open the door for me, please, is the best answer. In question forms, could always comes first in the verb phrase, after the subject and before another verb. Again, in question forms, could always comes first. So, not you could or not please you could. But if you make a question, could comes first. So, could you open the door for me, please, is the best answer. Let's go to the next question. Number 4. The sentence, he gave me the book immediately, is in the first idea that gives this sentence is that this is requiring to find the tense. And then we have the options. A, it's in past simple. B, it's in a present continuous tense. C is in a present simple. And D is in a past continuous tense. Now, he gave me the book immediately. As I said before, we have to check the main verb, which is gave in this case. Actually gave, is it in a past simple or present continuous or maybe past continuous? Who knows? Let's see. So, he gave me the book immediately is in the past simple. Why? You may say, teachers, this is a very good, easy question, but these are the questions that I collected from the previous tests that students used to hold. Now, it's in a past simple because gave is the past simple of the verb give, and which is also the main verb of the sentence. So let's go to the other one, number 5. It says, choose the correct sentence. All for the tour word arrangements have been made. Now, word ordering is very important in English. Usually students do mistakes when they like to compare word ordering with Albanian and other languages. This is not a good thing. So, when you try to make a sentence, do not compare it with Albanian, because in Albanian it can be 3 or 4 or maybe 5 forms correct. They can still sound correct, but in English there are only 1 or 2 forms. Now, let me read the sentences for you. All for the tour world arrangements have been made. A. B. All arrangements for the world tour have been made. C. All for the world tour arrangements have been made. And D. All tour for the world arrangements have been made. Now, is it kind of complicated? Let's see what is the right answer for this and why. It says B, because all arrangements for the world tour have been made. Analyzing it further, you cannot use the linking words or prefixes or suffixes before arrangements, but you have to be specific, telling that all arrangements for the world tour have been made. Okay? Now, as I said, you have to be very careful about word ordering. Should be regulated grammatically and then correct. Never compare it with Albanian or other languages. Number 6, this is, as I call, a question about using your imagination. So, this is a situation when you are stuck in the kitchen. Your living room is full of guests or friends, and you're about to make some tea. Now, we have 5 sentences, and our job is to put them in the right order. It says, then put some tea in the teapot. So this is the first step. No, it's not, because you didn't do anything. And then pour hot water in the teapot, and then turn off the kettle when the water boils, and then put some water in the kettle and turn it on, and then serve teacups after 3 or 4 minutes. Can you do this? Of course not, because it's a very mess. You have to imagine yourself in the kitchen, having a kettle, and to see what's the first step. Actually, you have A, B, C, D, the form ordering of the sentences, and the right answer is C. So, the first step is to put some water in the kettle and turn it on. Second step is then put some tea in the teapot. Third step is to turn off the kettle when the water boils. Fourth is pour hot water in the teapot and then serve teacups after 3 or 4 minutes. So you're happy because you just made some tea and you're drinking tea with your friends. Number 7, again, this is a conversation, a cute conversation between 2 people, and they're asking each other about activities on weekends. And it's like this: my parents are coming on Friday. Any plans for the weekend? We'll go to the theater, my mother loves it. How nice! What are you planning to do with them? None yet. How about you? You have to put them in the right order. Okay? So, the right order is A, actually. It starts with any plans for the weekend. Usually these cases, these type of questions, start with this type of, as I said, questions start with a question, and they're having a conversation between each other. Any plans for the weekend? None yet. How about you? My parents are coming on Friday. How nice! What are you planning to do with them? We'll go to the theater. My mother loves it. So this is an easy question again for you. Number 8. Again, a conversation between George and Jesse. And the instruction says, read the sentences and choose the most suitable alternative to complete the dialogue. George, how much do you weigh? This is actually a direct question. Jesse is giving options. A, that girl is twice my weight. What about that girl? No one sees that girl. B, I weigh 54 kilograms. Okay, this is an option. And then C, I don't want to wait. No one is asking if you want to wait or not. And D, my weight is 54 kilograms. I guess you're about A and D. Let's see. So, again, George, how much do you weigh? Jesse, I weigh 54 kilograms. Since George asked a direct question, if you ask a direct question, you usually get a direct answer. Simple as that. Now, you don't have to complicate things. You have to check the options and to trust the first option, the first that is most logic. I put it here, a direct question, because he's asking her, how much do you weigh? And sometimes, maybe sometimes, it could be D, my weight is 54 kilograms, but since it's a direct question, you have to say, I weigh 54 kilograms. Good. Let's go to number 9. Only one of the words can be used to complete the sentence. Which one? You can defend your client in court only if you are A, defendant, B, judge, C, lawyer, and D, secretary. So, what's the defendant's job? Actually, it's not specified. It can defend something, but the defender can be in a football match. In a football match, you see a defender, an offensive, a defensive. That's the word, that's the root of the word, but we don't know what. And then the judge is the person, is the leader who can control everything in the court. And then we have the secretary. Secretary usually has to take care about the administration part, the documents, the papers, what the bosses tell them to do, and then the lawyer. So the lawyer is the person. What is the lawyer? The lawyer gives legal advice to people in government agencies and businesses. So they prepare legal documents and defend clients in court. If you are in trouble, if you are in the court, the only person that can help you is the lawyer. So the lawyer is the right answer. Now let's go to the 10th question. And the sentence says, she doesn't work on Sundays. And then it gives us options which are present simple, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense, and also present continuous tense. She doesn't work on Sundays. What we have to do now, we have to check it out. We have to analyze this. Where do you see doesn't? Where do you see don't? Where do you see do? And in the meantime, she doesn't work on Sundays gives us another feedback for the things that usually are repeated every day, every year, every month, or every week. So, it's about a habit, facts, or things that usually happen in a routine way, usually are repeated. As I said, this is present simple tense. And the sentence is in the negative form because you see doesn't there. Again, I'm repeating myself. The simple present or present simple expresses an action in the present taking place regularly several times. So everything that is repeated again and again, it's in the present simple. The sun rises to the east and sets to the west is a daily thing. It's a fact, it's a scientific fact. And also used for actions that take place one after another and for actions that are set by a timetable or schedule. So everything you scheduled has to do or has to use with present simple. Okay? Again, I consider this as an easy question. Number 11, of course, you have a dialogue. And you may say, why you picked so many dialogues? But it's not my choice. That's what I got there. I didn't choose them. I only picked the important questions. Now, choose the correct alternative to complete the dialogue. The dialogue is very short. It's between Anna and Ben. Why are you so angry? Anna is asking Ben. And then Ben is saying, why did you take the keys? Didn't you know that they're my? A. They're of me. B. They're me. C. And then they're mine. D. Can you say they're my? Of course not, because you have a missing information. Can you say they're of me? Again, not, because they're not made of you. You didn't make them. You didn't make them. And then C, they're me. Of course, the keys are not you because you are Ben and the keys are lost. And then D, they're mine, tells completely something else. Are you curious to know the answer? So, why are you so angry? Again, Anna is asking. And Ben is saying, why did you take the keys? Didn't you know that they're mine? Mine is a possessive pronoun, and possessive pronouns are used to avoid repeating information that is already clear. So the right answer is mine. And mine grammatically is a possessive pronoun to tell that something is mine or you own something. Number 12, choose the sentence which is in the present perfect tense. They have just started the test. I had just finished the school. They will be here in a minute, and then I would have arrived much earlier. What is present perfect here? And what's the formula of the present perfect? Usually present perfect contains have and then the verb in past participle. The first one seems correct, and also the second one. So I am between A and B. The others, will and would, seems not correct to me, but let's see. They have just started the test. So, as I said, the form have and then the verb in past participle. Have started. To make the positive, here's the definition. To make the positive present perfect tense, use have or has plus the past participle. Make use the past participle by adding it to regular verbs. If it's regular verb, we have to actually add ed2. ed1 is for past simple, ed2 is for past participle. Next one. This one is a vocabulary question. It says, look at the following nouns. One does not exist. Which one? Explanation, confusion, recapturation, discussion. Can we change them to verbs? Of course. Explanation can be explained. And then confusion, confuse. And then recapturation. Have you ever heard about the recapturation? Me not. So, and then discussion, to discuss with each other. Which one of these does not exist? Recapturation does not exist. Because I didn't find this word in a dictionary. Number 14, again, we have to choose the correct alternative to complete the dialogue. The dialogue is between Lënda and Tom. Lënda is saying, I hear you have finished the school, so you're not high school student anymore. Tom, yes, it's true, we finished school last month. And then Lënda, all right, it was Friday. This is the topic about dates, reading dates, months, and years. Maybe you have to go further with this. If you want to be precise, you have to do a research or to surf websites in order to read the dates correctly. There is a difference between American version and English version, because usually the English version, they read the date and then the month. But it's vice versa in American style. They read, they read and write the month first and then the date and the year. Now we have options here. So you can see the date there and options of reading these dates. 8th of May 2015, 8th May in 2015, and then the 8th May 2015, the 8th May 2015. Let's see the right answer. The 8th May 2015 is the right one, because, as I said, we don't have much time to tell and explain all the details about reading the days, weeks, and months. Number 15, again, we have to put the dialogue in the right order. First one, it says, thank you, how much is that all? Second, here you are, thank you very much. Third, yes, I'd like a chicken sandwich and a Coke, please. Now, you have to imagine yourself at a restaurant or a bar, and you're about to order something, order some food. So, what's the first thing you do? You go there, you sit, you have a chair, a table, and then you take a menu, and then after taking a menu, you check the things and whether to decide what to eat. Now, what do we have here? We have ordering, we have a waiter asking the customer what he or she likes to drink or eat, and then we have a price, and then we have a sentence that someone is saying thank you. Now, the right order should be like this. Can I help you? Yes, I'd like a chicken sandwich and a Coke, please. Certainly, here is your sandwich and your Coke. And then thank you, how much is that all? That's 3.25 pounds. And then here you are, thank you very much. So, this is a conversation between a student or a man in a restaurant with a waiter ordering something and paying that order. Number 16, which word is different? We have the reporter, journalist, editor, and newspaper. The reporter and journalist are similar to each other because their duty or their job is to report in front of the media or audience. The editor is the person who controls and confirms the news if it's a fake news or a valid news. And then the newspaper actually is the product that these guys make at the end of the day. As I said, the newspaper is the product. Other choices are about job positions. Number 17, in this series of words, lovely, quickly, strong, smart, clever, the word quickly is different because it's a verb, it's an adjective, it's an adverb, or it's a noun. Now, lovely, quickly, strong, smart, clever, the word quickly is different from the others. We have to check if it's a verb. It's not a verb, maybe it's a verb, or it's an adjective. So adjectives usually describe the nouns, the features of nouns, as we said before. Now, actually it's an adverb because it has an L and Y at the end. Suffixes ly at the end of the word help us identify that the words are usually adverbs. However, many words and phrases not ending in li serve an adverbial function, and li ending is not a guarantee that a word is an adverb. So, li help us to know, to identify that the words are adverbs, but not 100% sure. You can have an adjective ending with the suffix ly. Number 18, choose the correct expression to complete the dialogue. The dialogue is between Miranda and Matthew. Miranda is asking, can we go to the concert together? And Matthew is being polite. So you have information here. Matthew is only being polite. Can you be polite by saying no, not at all? Can you be polite if you say, sorry, but I have to work? And then, can you be polite if you say, we can, but I don't want to? That's not a polite thing. Doesn't sound that. And then, I never go with good friends. Of course, let's go to the basics. We say sorry, excuse me, thank you so much, and these expressions are considered polite. Now, B is the correct one because he's saying, sorry, but I have to work. Okay? Can we go to concert together? Sorry, but I have to work. This helps you a lot because you have an information that Matthew is being polite. Number 19, again, you have to order in the right, you have to order the sentences in the right way. You have, thank you, you're very kind, and then yes, hurry up, we're leaving in a minute. And then, excuse me, is this seat occupied? Is this bus going to London? No, of course not. I'll just take my bag and you can see. Imagine yourself traveling somewhere. In this case, here is mentioned London. And you see a bus there going to London and asking if the bus is going to London. And if you catch the bus, you are going to take a seat. And if you take a seat, you can bother someone. Now, let's see the right order. You have 4 options, and the right order is like this. Be careful. Is this bus going to London? Yes, hurry up. We're leaving in a minute. Excuse me, is this seat occupied? Now you're reaching to a traveler just like you, and you're asking him, excuse me, is this seat occupied? No, of course not. I'll just take my bag and you can see. Thank you, you're very kind. As I said, you have to use your imagination during this sort or kind of questions. Okay, number 20. Choose the correct sentence. I have not told him the whole story yet. I not have told him the whole story yet. I have not told the whole story him yet, and then I have him not told the whole story yet. Try to read them carefully and try to imagine and think about the right order of the words. If it doesn't sound, if it doesn't fit to your mind, that's not correct. Can you say, I not have told him the whole story yet? It doesn't sound correct. Just stop for a minute, think about that. And then the right answer is, I have not told him the whole story yet. Because actually it's grammatically correct. And every pattern is in the right order. Number 21, choose during, for, and while to complete the sentences. She has been sleeping for, while, meantime, or during 10 hours. Choose one of the options. If we say she has been sleeping, you have to choose for, while, meantime, or during. And in this case, we have for. Why for? Explanation, definition. We use for and length of time to say how long. So if you want to tell how long, 10 hours, 2 hours, the whole day, you have to use for. And then with for, we answer the question, how long, as we said. Like, how long has she been sleeping? How long has Tom been sleeping? She's been sleeping the whole day. 24 hours. A month, like a bear's. Number 22, choose during, for, and while. Again, the same question, I guess. But different options. He scored a goal for, while, during, or between the second half of the match. Now, he scored a goal during the second half of the match because during is used to talk about and tell about when something happens. With during, we answer the question when. Number 23, choose the correct verb tense to complete the sentence below. I don't remember. B, I'm not remembering. C, I wasn't remembering. And D, I couldn't remembering anything about the night of accident. Now this is a grammar question. Analyzing this sentence and having options like I'm not remembering, not remembering doesn't sound correct. Wasn't remembering. Remembering only is used in a gerund if you want to start the sentence at the very beginning. You say remembering for old people or elder generation is a healthy thing. Or, so that's a gerund, but not using in the middle of the sentence. And then wasn't remembering again, couldn't remembering. So we stick with a, don't remember. As I said, remember is not an action verb and cannot be used in continuous verb forms. It's called ill-formed. So we use the present simple and not progressive with stative or non-action verbs. I think I'm clear with that. Let's go to the 24. And we recently renewed, are recently renewing, have recently renewed, or did recently renewed our website. You have to choose one of these options, and the right one is C. We recently have renewed because it's in a present perfect with the expressions like recently to talk about recent past events that are relevant now. We don't say when the action happened. So we're not specifying when we renewed the website, but we're just saying recently. Again, recently is an expression that is used in the present perfect. Number 25, choose the correct verb tense to complete the sentence below. You look fitter. Yes, I at the gym for the last few months. What at the gym for the last few months? Working out. I've been working out. I work out. I out working at the gym for the last months. Now, the result is that you are fitter. But we don't know what did you do with your body. And the answer is, actually, I've been working out. Now, we use the present perfect continuous with action verbs, dynamic verbs to talk about the situations that started in the past and have not finished. And now my advice to you is that you have to keep working out for your achievement test in order to be successful at the end of the 9th grade. And that's all for today. That was my presentation. And I wish you to be very successful. And if you have anything to ask, you have my email, and feel free to write to me and I'm going to be very responsive. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye.